For the last 6 years, I'm not even kidding you, I've been shouting from the rafters that if you make playlists on Spotify of up-and-coming artists in your microgenre, and if you get traffic to those playlists with some smart titling and a few hours of work, Spotify will start recommending you in daily mixes, Discover Weekly, other algorithmic playlists, and eventually Spotify Radio. And when that happens, you really start becoming an artist with hundreds of thousands of plays. In our community, there are countless artists who've used this technique to get up to hundreds of thousands of monthly listeners. But I know some of you are skeptical because you're thinking, well, Jesse, you kinda glazed over the whole part where you get people to actually listen to this playlist. I mean, come on, I can obviously make a playlist, but how do I get people to actually hit play on it? It can't be this easy. And fair enough. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I would drive people to one of these artist playlists that will get you into the Spotify algorithm. So if you aren't new to this channel, you've probably seen me talk about this technique before, where we first identify your community. And if that sounds like something a politician should be doing more than a musician, you really need to tap in and watch my video that's linked in the description on how to find community, because really, this is one of the most important things you do to build a fan base. Since if you barely have any fans, this is often the missing ingredient. It finds those music listeners who are looking for new artists, not just the ones who are looking for the popular artists in each genre, because you need to find those because they're not the same. Anyway, if you can't figure out where to find these artists, I love finding your microgenre on rateyourmusic.com, then clicking and sorting by most recent, and then looking for artists with some ratings and reviews and listening to them, since this forum is usually up on new artists before anyone else. And I know some of you don't even know your microgenre, and if you need to figure that out, there's a video in the description on how to find what you sound like that I made a few months ago that will help you. So let's say you've done your community work and you now know a bunch of artists in your microgenre who are on their way up. We then need to separately find some of the bangers from the more established artists in your genre. You probably know a few songs that are really good in your genre already, but if you don't, the site on Chartify can help. Just click on your microgenre, or look at some of the top rated artists in your genre on Rate Your Music, and then look at their most popular songs. Now in this playlist we're making, we are adding your song every 4 to 8 songs. We're mostly going to be using those up and coming artists we're trying to get you into the algorithm with, and every few tracks we're adding in one of those bangers to keep people locked in, since, let's be honest, those bangers are kind of proven to have a good track record. Next, once this playlist is 2 hours, we want to title it something intriguing that a person looking for new music would be interested in. Something like Best Underground Wojak Core 2026, or Up and Coming London Hyperdub. You're smart enough to figure this out, but the real equation here is it should identify the microgenre and that these are up and coming artists. You can also even add in a locality with it if that's going to make a difference in your genre or what you're creating. After that, add a description that describes the playlist a bit, and you're ready to get this playlist heard. Oh yeah, but that's what you're really wondering about is, how do you get it heard? You've probably heard me talk about sharing it on your Instagram story and tweeting it and tagging the artists who are on it, maybe on Threads as well, but a lot of you aren't into that. So the next conversation becomes about using meta ads, since you've heard artists talk about building them up to tens of millions of monthly listeners. But running meta ads is a massive headache for so many of you because, let's get real, Meta's interface kind of sucks. There's so much you can mess up. You need to watch hours of my buddy Andrew Southworth's videos to even begin to get a clue. Never mind that this Andromeda update has messed up so much stuff. Interest targeting is far less important than it used to be, the rules are all different, and the musicians who don't adapt end up paying ridiculous amounts of money to get their music heard instead of having a really low click-through rate and getting this done for cheap, just like you could be doing if you follow my instructions. And I know, you're hoping I have a solution to this, right? Of course I do. This is why I'm excited to introduce you to the sponsor of this video, HypeIt. You may remember me talking about them before. For those of you who don't want to get a doctorate in running ads, they can get you incredibly effective low-cost clicks to help get your song or playlist heard. HypeIt is built for a new ad reality, fully adapted to Meta's automation-first approach. And for those of you who don't know, late last year, Meta switched up their ad platform, and many of the things you knew before got flipped on their head. I don't have time to get into all the details here, but knowing you all, you really don't want to go down that road anyway, or else you wouldn't be listening. And there's an affordable way to keep making music instead of learning a nerdy ad platform, which I bet you'd rather do. But before I show you how easy it is to set up a campaign on HypeIt, I want you to understand this. Meta rewards campaigns that run lots of distinct-looking ad videos. And lots is putting it lightly. We're talking 15 to 30, and my guess is you don't want to be spending time creating tons of those. HypeIt recognized this new challenge and includes a feature that helps artists quickly generate a full stack of quality ad creatives for a single song. No editing skills required. This is especially powerful for artists who don't have the time or resources to endlessly edit videos. So for those of you with some video resources, you can plug in your own. So let me show you how streamlined their interface is at getting musicians results. All right, so once we're logged into HypeIt, it's pretty easy to navigate around. You have this share music function that's obviously pretty obvious. As you can see here, it has a download gate, a link gate, a smart link, a pre-release smart link, and a link to get your music heard on any web page you share. But the promote music tab is really where we're gonna do our damage. So as you can see on the dashboard, you can create an ad campaign or you can click promote music. You see fan promotion, get your music heard as promoted track on HypeIt's charts and new releases. This promotion exchange, support fellow artists and get support for your music in return. But what we're interested in is this music ad automation. So we're going to select that. So you have choices to grow my Spotify track, grow my Spotify playlist, grow my Spotify artist profile, grow my Spotify pre-saves, grow my YouTube channel, grow my YouTube videos, grow my fan emails, grow my TikTok video. So what we're interested in for today's lesson, though, since we've been talking about playlists, is to grow your playlist. And as you're going to see, it's really easy to do. So as you can see here in Spotify, I have made a playlist called Underground Sad Hypergaze. The description of it is the saddest hypergaze songs no one with quite yet. Of course, I say FW because I'm so PG-13. But now you're up on it is the rest of it. So as you can see here, I have a couple of songs. You know, these are all songs I listen to and like a lot. But fourth here, as I've advised, I put one of my own songs. I know some of you are like, Jesse, you have your own songs, and that's a long story for another time. Anyway, so this is the playlist I want to promote. I'm going to click a link to this playlist. We're going to pop it in here, and then we're going to enter the URL of the song we want to promote. So for those of you who don't know, this is called deep linking. It means that even if the song isn't the first song of the playlist, we can get the playlist to play that song first. So we share the song we want to play first, which is PMGen Spanish Tongue. Then it wants us to upload the audio of that song. So I have the audio of that clipped right here. We're going to upload that, which just takes a second. As you can see, it's very fast. So then it detects the genre. Now, you can change that genre since what this is closest to is dance pop, this playlist. So we're going to call it that even if this song is a little weird. So then you're going to add videos. Now, this is where things I think get pretty interesting. So they have this option to create a video themselves. It's in beta, which is free right now, but you can upload audio snippets or select audio snippets for your full song, upload up to 3 audio snippets of an MP3 or wave from 50 to 60 seconds long. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a video. So using this tool, HypeIt will make creative for you so you could go through less effort. Since I have a video, I'm going to show that first. I'm going to upload it here. One thing to note is it only supports MP4, so you got to make sure it's in that format. I admittedly messed this up because I often make QuickTimes. Okay, so after that is uploaded, you should click the next button. As you can see, you can watch back the frame here. Make sure everything worked right. Okay, so then we want to choose the audience that this goes to. This is where we choose our interests, aka which genres we're going to target. Now, remember, in Facebook's latest update, they're no longer letting you get real specific with this. They want you to go real broad, and they'll do the rest with their AI. And a lot of people say this is working really well. It didn't mess things up, despite the fact that I know if you're like me, you probably get scared about that. But with HypeIt's technology, they'll zone in on it to get the right people. So then you're going to click next once you have the interests narrowed down. So then you can deal with which type of countries you want to do. Now, if you look at this note, it says, I never change this. These tier 1 and tier 2 countries are already optimized to get you the best results on Spotify. That said, if you want to reach fans in countries that are not on this list, just add them below. So you can create a custom country list if you only have interest in making fans in one country. Then it's about a daily budget amount. So one of the things to keep in mind is setting this budget right now doesn't mean you're paying anything yet. You're just planning ahead. One of the things to note also here is that there's a scheduled run or an always active run, which when you select always active means that you can control how long they run based on performance. So we're going to keep that selected. Then we're going to click next. And then we can choose Facebook or Instagram. If you don't want to market to Facebook, you can deselect it. Then an age range, we're going to knock this down despite it being maybe a little young to 40, all genders. Then we need to put an ad text, the best underground hypergaze playlist. And then we're going to select the language of the text, which is English, of course. And then you can select a different cover art if you want. So as you can see, it generated from the song that I'm promoting, but you could go into an image library and put something else if you want. So then we have a confirmation where you can go over the list of what they're going to do. Now, I know a lot of you glaze over these, but that's not very smart and you shouldn't do that. So I would highly, highly suggest doing that. So once you do that, you click I confirm, I understand it, and I understand here, and you hit publish now. So then after that, you connect your Facebook. If you want them to set up your ad account for you, they have a $197 one-time not reoccurring fee to set that up for you. Since I know some of you get very intimidated by Meta Ads Manager, which is why a lot of you are watching this video, well, they have a solution for you. So once you do this, you're able to monitor the performance of your campaigns. But one of the great things about HypeIt is they will really, really do that for you. They will help find the creative that works best to promote your music. And it's as easy as that. As you can see, it's super easy to set up HypeIt and handle getting this all optimized so you get the most streams and drive your song into the Spotify algorithm next to the songs your song is most likely to be liked by the listeners of. You don't need to constantly tweak and optimize it like you do inside Meta's Ad Manager, since HypeIt got you covered. If this is exciting to you, they have a 7-day free trial for all of my viewers if you just click the link in the description. So here's the thing, while you just learned this, if you really want to grow your fan base, you need to understand how to make those artist playlists that will get you in the algorithm, which is on the video on the screen right now, and I go into even more detail on that. It's also linked in the description below, so make sure you watch that next if you really want to level up. Thanks for watching.